My name is Stefan Moorehead, and I'm a Penguin Random House rep in the Midwest for Penguin. After I talk about my books today, I want to make sure you visit the book room, where you will be able to request physical copies of the ARCs we are offering, or you can always visit Edelweiss and download electronically. So I want to start off today with Fiona and Jane by Jean Chin Ho. This is one of those publishing stories you love to hear about. It's a debut author signed by one of our most wonderful editors at Viking, Allison Lorentzen, who's edited amazing Viking authors from Jasper Faford to Zenzi Clemens. And as reps and other publishing folks started to read this book, word of mouth slowly started to spread of how terrific it really was, of kind of how special it felt. It became one of those books that, I guess you could say, organically took hold. And really, wow, I was not immune from its charms, as you could tell. We're publishing right into a similar date that had Chloe Benjamin's Immortalists or Kylie Reid's Such a Fun Age take off. So the book itself is told as a series of linked stories that revolve around the lives of two best friends, Fiona Lin and Jane Shin, who are two Taiwanese American women. And it follows them from their first meeting in second grade to their best friendship developing and into their early adulthoods. They navigate their teenage years, estranged family members, their love lives, race in America, inherited traumas, and those nuances of gender and sexuality. So this is a book about their friendship, and it's about that unique experience of two women. Though they may drift apart and back together again, they'll always be linked and friends. So why I loved it, the writing is just witty, it's warm, it's irreverent. Her humor and love for her characters is just infectious. It really reminded me of reading Sally Rooney's Conversation with Friends, or Brian Washington's Lot, or even Jenny Zhang's Sour Heart, where each story tells a piece about the lives of Fiona and Jane. And really, I can't wait for you to be captivated as well. Next up is a book I'm very excited about, and I wish I had a demo to show you. Is one of my favorite novels on our Penguin Adult Spring list. So apologies to all my accounts who might be tuning in, as I will be talking about this novel every chance I get. It's Trust by Hernan Diaz. You of course remember Hernan from his groundbreaking debut, In the Distance, which landed him on the Pulitzer Prize and the PEN/Faulkner shortlists in 2018. Since then, he's won a Whiting Award, among many other accolades. And now I know he's poised for more. Diaz has been exalted by the New York Times, who highlighted his, and I quote here, ability to create lustrous mindscapes from wide open spaces. And here what we have is really his no less dazzling second novel, Trust. Riverhead's Sarah McGrath, editor extraordinaire, who's edited such authors like Brett Bennett, Lauren Groff, C-Pam Shang, and Emma Straub, among others, acquired this in a heated auction. And from the very first page, you will definitely see why. The novel is seemingly the story of a book within a book that's about the lives of two prominent New Yorkers that runs through the Roaring '20s. It's also the story about this story and what truths sort of are layered within the fiction. That story of great wealth folded within its historical layers is also this story of right now, of the nature of truth and money and, of course, trust. So the novel is sprawling, but it feels intimate. It's inventive, but it feels very readable. The characters are thoroughly compelling. I was completely engrossed in the story of Benjamin and Helen Rask, and also this story of uncovering the truth of their wealth and their marriage. So this is really elegant, inventive storytelling. It reminded me of a bit of like David Mitchell mixed with a bit of Kate Atkinson, blended with a dash of like Tom McCarthy and a helping of like Amor tolls thrown in for good measure. So really make sure you're signed up for this. I call it a literary event. Finally is The Good Left Undone by Adriana Triggiani, who the Washington Post called a master of visual and palpable detail. She's back with Penguin Random House, where she began her career with Big Stone Gap. And just as lovely and importantly, she's taking us all back to Italy. This was acquired in a 2-book deal. It's a beautiful and lush novel that brings Adriana back to the country of Italy for the first time since many readers and booksellers fell in love with her writing in The Shoemaker's Wife. And what a homecoming it is, truly. So under Maya Ziv's excellent editorial guardianship, The Good Left Undone, it's about a family of Tuscan artisans, the Cabrellis, and a matriarch, Matilda. She's brusque and opinionated as she sort of approaches the end of her life, and she's thinking back to the startling revelation from her mother. So this is also the story about Matilda's mother, Dominica, from the rumblings of World War II, as Dominica flees for France, then to Scotland, and then on to the unsafe for Italians at the time, England. It spans to the present-day Italian countryside, as Matilda and Matilda's granddaughter, Annina, another prominent character in the novel, is set to try to find out the family's secrets and what they should really be fighting for in life. It's kind of like what we all want to know. So it's an epic globe-trotting love story. So if you've never read Triggiani before, you're in for a feast of exquisite detail. So this is a book for fans of like historical fiction, multi-generational family sagas like Paula McLean's writing. You will love this sweeping novel. So it features remarkable characters, layered drama, and really all the Italian history you can devour. Really, this novel reminded me it's like a sumptuous Tuscan sunset. Of course, if you follow Triggiani on Facebook, you know she's built a huge fan base with her great series of author interviews and book discussions called Adriana Inc., which are great if you've never watched before. So that concludes my books for today. I encourage you again to check out the book room and request any of the amazing books I've talked about today. And I will look forward to hearing about how much you loved each one. So thank you.